So I want to talk today about why my story is helping, saving, changing the world. I'm not sure exactly how to put it. It is a very intense thing, so maybe you'll help me over time figure out what's the best word to say it. I mean, I believe it could be saving. Saving is, I don't want to be a savior per se. It's such an intense story. I want to share with you bits and pieces as we go. So here's a little intro, and I'll chat on the other side. Thank you. Thanks for watching. So, first of all, to hone yourself to this situation, you'd be interested, if you're interested in issues of psychology, emotional abuse, narcissism, all this kind of thing, because it's not a physically assaultive for the most part, even though there was a little of that against me, but it's not a physically assaultive kind of thing. So if that's not your thing, the psychological realm, I call spiritual, what's really happening in the world, then this video may not be for you. Having said that, excuse me, and by the way, I hurt my thumb, so I got a little brace on my thumb. Funny things happen as time goes by. So the key elements of this I talk about a lot. There's really three, but that I came from this extraordinarily deep background in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And there's a reason Joe Biden used to talk a lot about Scranton, PA, where he was originally from, because it was at the time it was a very intense place, okay? And we lived in a place called the Hill section where the blocks were square, actually in the order of the presidents, Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison. So I had 4 grandparents who lived back to back on Madison and Monroe Avenues. 2 grandmothers. 2 Jewish grandmothers who lived over 100 years each. I mean, the real deal, the soup, the whole chicken soup, pea soup with hard salami, first generation grandfathers. So within the 6-block area at my grade school, we walked to every day. We walked home for lunch, temple. Whole life was in it. It wasn't quite like Mayberry, for people who still remember that, where Andy Griffith, this tiny little town, but it was a contained area. And intense, having the food. My parents were very fastidious about raising us and bedtimes and all this, although, I played a lot of sports, and my brother and I were intelligent about it. I kind of was into the rough and tough of the 60s and all that kind of thing. Right? So that was my upbringing. And then what happened, and I got involved in, public service. I went to Oberlin College undergraduate, ended up in Cambridge, Massachusetts after that. A bit of a girlfriend brought me, and a mentor, kind of, was supposed to go to LA. But anyway, so, and then here's the commercial part. If you want to get to a better place in your life, if you're dealing with bullies, if you want to leave enduring societal influence, want to see society, go to our website, get the training, coaching, and mediation you need, okay? TheWorld'sBestMediator.com. I don't know everything, but I know. This is the philosophy you need. If you're a good person and struggling in a tough situation, then you need this training, coaching, and or mediation. I don't know everything, but I know you do. So go to the website. We'll get it done. I ended up getting involved in the whole area of public service, counseling. I helped youth ran and developed inspirational programs for young people, and got as far as it got on the city council in Cambridge. So the point, the key, and that's what I call all ordinary stuff, right? That's all ordinary, my life. No matter how high you achieve for the most part, a lot of that stuff's in the what I call the ordinary realm. So when it got into the extra or the extraordinary, it started in 1988 when my younger brother was in LA, and I was going through, really start acting with vengeance. And I'm saying this with love, because I loved my brother. He was younger, I walked him to school, but so I say with love, he's just started acting with rage towards me. And making, here I was getting elected to the city council, and maybe he and his wife, who was a high Harvard law graduate, so they had plenty going on in their own way, but they had this jealousy or rage towards me. I think she grew up in a setting where you had to be the smartest person in the room, and maybe she sensed my own family I would be competition, but it is my family. Right? So they started coming for me, but this very unusual way. And it's why I say to people, you've got to understand the psychology of the times. Because I've developed the remedies, but, and you have to understand that people will come for you. So 1996, it kicked into high gear when I moved to really extraordinary from ordinary, because my ex-wife began this separation, but that became a tool of my own family to turn against me and really go for my throat, for lack of a better expression. And this is so because, that's why I talk about, the juxtaposition of, having grown up in Scranton and family very saying blood ain't mud and families behind you, and they were behind me in a lot of, cheered at all my sporting events, all this kind of thing. But then they just mercilessly come against me. And this went on for, 28 years, 29 years. And I see, what's starting to happen, we can talk about narcissism, psychopathy, all kinds of emotionally abusive things, which I say are so key to understand. And they combine that with what I discovered were these flaws, again, with love for America, great love, flaws in our American court system, in dealing with divorce. We're also people, we're just thoroughly callous in dealing with my own children, my own situation. I'm like, what is going on here? And so I kind of dug in and I said, this is not going to happen to me. So this great standoff and, battle, I guess, competition set forth over the 29 years. And what I'm getting at is that, a couple things happen. One is you grow and change. When you're in a situation like that, and you can't make immediate progress, right? Like 29 years. Like, can you imagine working on something 29 years and virtually being involved in it 24/7? And that's where, my philosophies, my work comes about. You're kind of, should I close the door while that beeping is going on? I guess I will. Well, the beeping ended anyway. So, when you're in a situation where you can't make forward progress right away, but you're my kids, my future, my family, everything's on the line, so you're not going to run away. And so one thing that happens is that you grow immeasurably as a person. Okay? Let's show me like outside, little outside work. Can you believe there's still someone out here taking things, distributing literature in this day and age? Gotta remember our humanity, I suppose, A little silly. How about this blue? Baby blue. I don't know. We'll see. See what unfolds. Thanks for what a day. I mean, it's 65 degrees, more or less. A little breeze, sweater, the river behind me. I mean, I don't make days like a remarkable day. Today, spreading my message, taking a break. But when you're, I don't know, I was trapped, I was going to say stuck in a situation, and it's something you believe. And the thing is, people, young people, everyone, you can't get angry, right? Because you're fighting great forces, and if you get angry, they're going to swat you down. They're going to dismiss you. They're going to find a way to defeat you. So this is a key to my story. How do you kind of press on when you can't get angry, you're not getting immediate results. And so what I'm saying is you mature a lot. I mean, Nelson Mandela said, what was the result of 27 years of prison was maturity. So you're stuck in this situation. Thank God mine didn't come about that way. But it was a psychological prison, is what I call it, because there were people demeaning me and trying to cut me down, cut off my right, all the time. And I had to stand in, so you develop patience, compassion, fortitude, vision. All these things come out of it because you're not going to yield to that. And that's what my life's about. And that's what my life's about. And I'm saying, why I say it could change America, for one, is that, well, let me just go to the other thing that happens, is that not only do you, grow as a person, but I developed agendas to really help the world, because I saw, wait, this isn't just me. The bottom of our American legal system is falling out. We're not ensconced in, liberty and justice for all. There's people paid, divorce people, lawyers, judges, psychologists. I won't say judges paid. I mean, you can make your own. I mean, there was a judge in Wilkes-Barre, PA, who was, criminally charged for sending kids off to, forced camps. But anyway. But there's enormous corruption, and people who don't care about your children making decisions about your children on the basis of someone else's interests. And so this is where, I dug in because of those grandmothers and all that. I say, you're not going to do this to my children. So what I'm getting, not only that, but I got to a real, constructive stage for America, saying, wait, we got a big hole in here. And I did this song about it, A Hole in the American Soul. I wrote it, produced it, and Elaine Zhang and others were involved in it. But anyway, America is really, I'm going to pick this up in another point, I believe. But what I'm saying is, because I stood in there for, because this outrageous, frivolous crap was coming at me, and because I stood in there and didn't take it for 29 years, I started to create other things. So the story will be written, as I say. Did I help America? Did I change America? Did I save America? We'll discuss later. And by the way, take a look at my website if you want interest in the training, coaching, and mediation. The mediation I'm involved with. We'll talk again.